Well, hello everyone. My name is Sohail Kazi, and today I'll be covering the topic Introduction to Non-Conventional Machining Process. So let us start with the types of machining processes. Basically, till now we have already seen these types of machining processes like forming and shaping and metal cutting. Forming and shaping means changing the shape of an existing solid body like casting and forging. For example, the metal body of a car, sheet metal forming, alloy wheels of bikes are forged. Also, there are many other components that are made by casting. Like you have seen the bed of lathe machine, it is completely made up of casting. Next comes metal cutting. Metal cutting is a basic machining processes which are used worldwide like drilling machine, lathe machine, milling machine, grinding machine. Okay. In this machining, it requires a tool and which comes in the contact with the workpiece, and because of that the material is removed from the workpiece. So basically these are the types of machining process that we all know till now. Moving further, as we know casting, just a little introduction about the casting process. In the casting process, firstly we prepare a mold by using a pattern. The thing which you see in this orange color is the pattern, and with this pattern we have prepared a mold. This is the mold. In this mold, what we do, we take the metal, we heat it, we melt it, and we put it inside the mold, inside this mold. And after putting it inside the molten metal take the shape of the mold and we allow it to cool. Once it cools, the component we get is our required object. You can see the examples over here that are made by casting process. Even your engine, your car engine, your bike engine, the casing of the engine is made by casting process. Next was forging. Forging, as you know, is a very tough process because it is usually used for making the tools. All the tools you have seen till now like screwdriver, spanner, hammer, chisel, knife, these all things are made by forging process. In the forging process, the workpiece is taken and it is heated up to a particular temperature, and that temperature is called as recrystallization temperature. It is also called as red hot temperature. Why? Because at that temperature the material looks red, yellowish red. Why? Because the crystalline structure of the workpiece starts changing. See, the workpiece is in solid form. When you heat it, it melts, it converts it into liquid form. But when you are heating a material, when the temperature starts increasing, it reaches one point which is called as recrystallization temperature. At that point, the crystalline structure of the material starts changing. So the material becomes relatively soft, and at that point we apply an external force by using press machine, and because of that the shape of the workpiece changes and we get our desired object. You can see in the images below there are spanners, there are tools in it which are made by forging process. So these all are few examples of conventional machine, or you can say traditional machine. The very first is the drilling machine. Second one, as you all be knowing, is grinding machine. Third one is the lathe machine. Fourth one is your press machine, and fifth one is again a milling machine. But as we all are using these types of machining processes, these all traditional machining processes, so there are certain disadvantages in it too. So let us see what all are the disadvantages of machining processes. Machining processes that involve chip formation have number of limitations like large amount of energy is consumed. It consumes a very high amount of energy. You can say mechanical energy, you can say electrical energy, or you can say human energy is also used. Unwanted distortion is there. Residual stresses are there. Why there are residual stresses? Because you are actually touching the tool with workpiece with a particular force, and because of this stresses are developed in the workpiece. There are burrs. Burrs means when you produce any workpiece on traditional machining processes, there are certain sharp small particles left at the edges. As you have worked, if you worked on turning operation on lathe machine, on the edges you can see that the edges are very sharp. That sharpness, the small particles, are called as burrs. Delicate or complex geometries may be difficult or impossible. Delicate or complex shapes are impossible to manufacture on lathe machine or a drilling machine or any traditional machine. So we need some advanced machining process for the same, for making complex geometries. Let us start with the history of non-conventional machining. The birth of numeric control is generally credited to John T. Parson, a machinist and salesman at his father's machining company, Parson Corporation. US Air Army commissioned MIT to develop the first numerically controlled machine in 1949. It was demonstrated in 1952. The US Army bought 120 NC machines and loaned them to various manufacturers. At 1970 to 1972, first computer numeric control, that is CNC machines, were developed. Today, CNC machines are found almost everywhere, from small job shops in rural communities to companies in large urban areas. These are the sample CNC machines. The first one is CNC lathe, second is CNC milling, third is CNC plasma arc cutting, and fourth one is CNC press. So the main reason that why we moved to non-traditional or non-conventional machines from conventional machines, let us see that. The very first difference between the conventional and non-conventional machining is, in conventional machining there is a direct contact of tool and workpiece, like you have seen in drilling machine, lathe machine. But in non-conventional machining there is no direct contact. Second point, cutting tool is always harder than the workpiece in conventional machine. But in non-conventional machine, the tool may or may not be harder than the workpiece. Third point, tool life is less due to high wear because it is constantly touching the workpiece. But in other case, in non-conventional machining, the tool life is more. In conventional, generally macroscopic chip formation is there, and in non-conventional, material removal occur with or without the chip formation. There may be chip or may not be chip formation present. Fifth point is that material removal takes place due to application of cutting forces, whereas in non-conventional machining it uses different types of energy like electrical energy, thermochemical energy, etc. to provide the machining. Conventional machining is suitable for all the materials available, whereas non-conventional machining are limited. Particular machining is limited to the particular material. It is not at all suitable for all the materials. Some of the machinings are even limited to electrical conductive material. Next point, conventional machining cannot be used to make prototype parts very effectively, whereas non-conventional machining, it can be used to produce prototype parts very effectively, very easily. Also, in non-conventional machining, there is a presence of closed loop feedback system. So let us now study what do you mean by feedback systems. The very first thing is open feedback system. Second is closed feedback system. Let us see what is open feedback system. In open feedback system, the complete process includes input, process and output. So in closed loop feedback system, there is a loop present and the process is connected with a feedback mechanism, and feedback mechanism sends a signal to the input. Now to understand this thing, let us see two examples. As you can see on the screen, on the right side of your screen, there are two taps. One is the conventional tap that you use regularly at your home. Second is a non-conventional tap that you can see in the malls. The above tap, when you open the tap, the water flows and it keeps on flowing unless and until you do not close the tap. In next, there is a sensor present. In the lower tap, there is a sensor present, and as soon as you take your hand below the tap, the water comes out, and when you remove your hand, the water stops. What do you understand by these two things? In first, there is no feedback mechanism. Like the input is when you rotate the tap. Process means the water comes from the tap, and output means it flows out of the nozzle. Whereas in the second case, where the sensors are present, what does it do? Input means when you put your hand inside under the tap, it processes the system, and the output is given that your water is coming out and you are washing your hand. And as soon as you remove your hand from the tap, it gives a feedback again to the input, and the input gets activated and the water stops coming out from the tap. So this is the significance of feedback system. So all the non-traditional machining, non-conventional machining, consider this closed feedback system, and all your traditional machining works on open feedback system. Following is the classification of advanced machining processes, that is non-conventional machining processes. Basically, it is categorized under three parts: mechanical, thermoelectric and thermochemical and chemical. Under mechanical, there are abrasive jet machining, ultrasonic machining, water jet machining, abrasive water jet machining. Under thermoelectric, there are plasma arc machining, laser beam machining, electron beam machining, electric discharge machining. Under electrochemical and chemical machining, there are electrochemical machining, chemical machining and biochemical machining processes. So it was a little introduction about the types of non-traditional machining process in the syllabus. We are going to discuss each and every machining processes one by one in the later on videos. Till then, keep studying. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. See ya.